Hi, everyone. Hi, friends. My name is Kathleen Houlihan. I am a teen librarian here in Austin, Texas, but I am not here to talk to you about libraries, although we could nerd out about that some other time. All right, yes, please, I'll bring you back. I will come back. But today I am talking to you about T-Rexmas, which is a holiday that my friends invented, and I'm very excited to share it with you. We don't have a way for me to click, so I'm going to just gesture wildly to the corner. Thank you so much, Jacob, for flipping the slides for me. This is what I'm going to talk about tonight. I'm going to talk about the origin of T-Rexmas. I'm going to talk a little bit about the cosmic calendar, which T-Rexmas is based on. I'm going to talk about how my family celebrates T-Rexmas, ways for you to make it your own, and then more resources for you to go and explore as you leave tonight. I also have zines about T-Rexmas, which I have a limited number, and you may take them for free. I am not charging. No capitalist hellscape here. I'm a librarian. We give things away for free, of course. All right. Thank you, Jacob. Next slide. All right, our origin story. Where do we begin? Next slide. All right, so what exactly is T-Rexmas? T-Rexmas is more than just Dinosaur Christmas, although Dinosaur Christmas is pretty awesome. As you can see, I am decked out in much Dinosaur Christmas finery already. But it actually celebrates the evolution milestones of life on Earth. It is inspired by Carl Sagan. Any Carl Sagan fans out there? Yes, all right. All right, yes, billions and billions. So it celebrates the evolution inspired by Carl Sagan's cosmic calendar. It was invented by two teachers here in Austin, Texas, Daniel and Kyla Morgan. Sadly, they moved away to Wisconsin because Texas is not nice to teachers, but they gifted us with T-Rexmas before they left. It is flexible. You can weave in any celebrations that you love and make it your own. Next slide, please. All right, who are we? All right, these are my friends, the Morgans. They are huge nerds, and I'm so sad that they can't be here, but hopefully they're watching the Twitch stream. And they are the inventors of T-Rexmas. Both are teachers from Austin, as I said, and their hijinks about T-Rexmas with their kids are totally legendary. I do include some photos of them throughout this presentation, so you'll get to see more. And then this is me and my sweet family. We are the Hula Grooves. That's a mashup of our last names. And we are both book junkies and love learning new things. And we celebrate T-Rexmas with our son. And we have been celebrating it with him since he was very, very small. So our child actually does not believe in Santa. He believes that T-Rex comes and visits him and brings him presents. And he is 9 now, and he still believes. All right, so let's go to the next slide, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that teaser. So why T-Rex? So, of course, dinosaurs are awesome, and they should have already had their own holiday long before now. So that is one great reason. Also, people are already on holiday in winter, and beautifully, the cosmic calendar lines up with many of the winter holidays. But also, Christmas isn't really about Christmas. Anyway, it's sort of an appropriation of a bunch of Celtic and North mythologies anyway. And as a humanist family, we were really struggling when we had our son. We were like, how are we going to celebrate these things while still being in alignment with our beliefs and values? So we were sort of feeling lost. And then as you do, you meet some other parents, and these super cool astronomy teachers one of them was an astronomy teacher, the other one was a preschool teacher, introduced us at our kids' daycare, and they were like, oh, well, you know, you don't have to celebrate Christmas. You could celebrate evolution. And I'm like, what? Tell me more. So I'm going to tell you more. T-Rex is awesome. Kids love dinosaurs. We love dinosaurs. And I'm very excited to tell you more. So let's go to the next slide. So what is the cosmic calendar? Anyone want to just tell us before we go to the next slide? Anyone remember what the cosmic calendar is? It's from Cosmos. Okay, let's do it. The cosmic calendar was invented by this wonderful human, Carl Sagan, who was a Cornell professor from 1968 until his death in 1996, and was a NASA advisor from the 1950s onwards. His 13-part Cosmos series streams, we just looked it up in a whole bunch of different places, so to watch, add it to your watch list, is a 13-part series, and was the most widely watched series in the history of public television, so definitely worth rewatching. And he was really a big advocate for helping lay people understand big, complex scientific concepts. And one of those was the history of the timeline of the universe. So next slide, please. He introduced us to the cosmic calendar. So the cosmic calendar takes the entire history of the universe and it shrinks it down to the scale of 1 calendar year. So every second is 500 years, which means that, yes, all of human history only happens in the last couple of seconds of the year. We're very insignificant down here, way down here. But as you can see, things really start happening in December, which is great. So that's why we celebrate T-Rexmas in December, because look at all of these evolutionary milestones we get to celebrate. And you can really do anything with any of them. But next slide. Right around December 25th is when dinosaurs show up. So that's why the holiday is called T-Rexmas, and we celebrate the arrival of dinosaurs on our planet. My son thinks it's T-Rex's birthday, and technically the tyrannids didn't actually show up until the 29th, but you know, you can't really explain that to a 3-year-old. So we just went with the 25th is T-Rex's birthday. We celebrate a bunch of other things, like we have a tree, because trees showed up as part of the evolutionary process. So many other things can be incorporated, and it's wonderful. Also, guess what happened on January 1st? It's also very convenient. It was the Big Bang. What else happens right New Year's? So yeah, we can do fireworks and all of that jazz and celebrate the Big Bang on January 1st too. Next slide. All right, so I'm going to share some of our T-Rexmas celebrations with you. Next slide. This is my son Klaus. He is very proudly showing you the smallest mushroom I've ever seen. We went mushroom hunting for a part of the evolutionary calendar that we celebrate, which is the fungi fortnight. So as you noticed on the cosmic calendar, the first couple of weeks in December, there's not like a whole bunch of animals and stuff like that happening, because it's mostly just single-celled, small, multicellular organisms and fungi. So we spend a couple of weeks just celebrating the awesomeness that is mushrooms. We love the Central Texas Mycological Society. We like to go to their talks. One year we grew mushrooms from a talk that we did, so those are some of the things that we did in the first couple of weeks of December. And this is my son pointing out a very tiny mushroom. We also do goofy stuff that doesn't have anything to really do with mushrooms, like I learned how to make latte art so that I could make a mushroom on our lattes for 2 weeks. So that's something that we did at our house. We also love to celebrate things like beer and wine and all the other wonderful things that mushrooms bring us. And mushroom pizza is a big popular thing at our house because it incorporates many different kinds of mushrooms and fungi. All right, let's move on from the fungi fortnight to a visit from T-Rex. So, so we don't leave out milk and cookies for T-Rex because he's a carnivore. So we leave out steak. So this is a steak, and then my son thought we should make a steak sandwich. So we made a steak sandwich with pieces of ham on either side because he's a carnivore, so of course he would like it. This year we forgot to take the steak out of the freezer soon enough, so it was frozen when we put it on the steak plate, but luckily T-Rex really loves steaksicles, so that worked out really well. This is a letter and a picture that my son wrote and drew to T-Rex telling him his wishes. And then T-Rex usually writes back. T-Rex does leave things for us in our stockings. He usually makes a terrible mess because T-Rex is really big. So sometimes he knocks over furniture, leaves muddy T-Rex footprints through our house. This is a picture from my friends who are now in Wisconsin where it snows a lot. And this is their apparatus for making the T-Rex magic happen up in Wisconsin. So these are some of the T-Rex footprints from last year. All right, next slide. This is a letter from my son to T-Rex. Like legit, y'all. He really thinks the T-Rex comes every year, which makes me so happy. He and I actually wrote a picture book to explain to his classmates the holiday that we celebrate. So his teachers play that picture book to his class so that they can understand our holiday traditions as well. So yeah, so if you are interested in that, there are links to that in the zine, and I'll share them at the end of this slide deck too. All right, next. All right, more Klaus. Klaus is the star, the secret star of my presentation. So I said we have a T-Rexmas tree. We've had a big T-Rexmas tree. This one is the very top of our big T-Rexmas tree, which of course has a T-Rex on the top of it. And then this is our new, much smaller T-Rexmas tree, which still has a T-Rex on the top of it, but everything on the tree is symbolic. So we have mushrooms, we have pine cones to celebrate the first trees. Also, these balls, these are not just balls. We are celebrating the snowball Earth phase of the evolution of planet Earth. We also have little mammals and dinosaurs and other kinds of little creatures all over the tree as well. So that is our T-Rexmas tree. Next slide. We also like to grow things for T-Rexmas. So I already mentioned that we grow mushrooms. We also just grow everything else. It's a great time to grow. If you like to grow things in Texas, winter is the time. So December is a great time to get planting. And these are a few of the things that we have planted just to help us be a part of the continued evolution of life here on Earth. We're participating in the life cycle. It's a great opportunity for my son to learn how things grow and to be a part of that process himself. So, and he's very proud of the things he's grown, obviously. Next slide. You can also craft things, endless opportunities to make things if you are maker-y inclined. These are some things that we've made. We made fossil cookies. We did bury these in cinnamon sugar so that you had to excavate them and dust them off with a little paintbrush like you're a real paleontologist. And then this was my son's mushroom bag that he sewed himself the first time he got to use the big sewing machine. And then this last year we also made little clay mushroom, tiny clay mushroom on a rock sculptures. So many, many more opportunities for you to make things, endless things. Next slide. We also like to, we don't want to forget that a big part of the cycle of planet Earth is mass extinction events. So I don't know if y'all are very morbid in your house. We tend to have a morbid streak running in our house, but we do want to celebrate the folks who our loved ones that we've lost. We want to tell stories about people who came before and continue to participate in the telling of our family's story. So we love on the folks who are no longer with us. This is my grandma, who was a WASP, a Women's Air Service pilot in World War II. This is our sweet cat, Ginger, who's been with us since Klaus was very little and passed recently. And this is my mama, who was a model in DC. So next slide deck. I could talk about those people a lot too. All right, and then of course we get to celebrate the Big Bang on New Year's. So fireworks, explosions, however you want to do it. It's a very exciting time to celebrate the everywhere stretch, the Big Bang. All right, next. So more ways to make it your own. Next slide. There's so many opportunities for this. In fact, my sister took The Night Before Christmas and rewrote it as a poem, which I am going to not read to you today because it's a little bit on the long side, but rewrote the entire thing to be a tribute to T-Rexmas. So that was a very special thing. You could do it yourself with any carols that you enjoy, make them about dinosaurs or evolutionary milestones. You can create habitats in your yard or neighborhood to attract insects and other wildlife, or play some of the amazing, I think I counted 20 different evolutionary related themed board games the last time I went to Tanuki Games. So there are a lot out there. We played Doomlings earlier this week and it was a hoot. All right, next. More resources. So I did mention some of these earlier. You can download the zine if you're not a paper zine person. You can watch the kids' book, although everything came out blurry because we PowerPoint, Canva, no friends. But I have QR codes if you need them. And then you can also listen to this amazing, super eclectic playlist that my friends put together. It has everything from like Tiny Dinosaurs by Lunch Money, my all-time favorite, to Tim Minchin's White Wine in the Sun. So all kinds of secular, holiday-related, but T-Rexmas friendly songs on that playlist. All right, next slide. All right, that is the end of my presentation. Merry T-Rexmas to all, and to all a good night is how I wanted to end it. And then I did want to make time for questions if you have questions for me. Thank you.
That was awesome. All right, I knew it was going to be awesome. Okay, so with that being said, the way that we do questions here is you raise your hand, and then I come to you, and you say it into the microphone. But just as a gentle and loving reminder, please make it a question and not a manifesto or an opportunity to give your own opinions about dinosaurs or whatever. So
if you want to be a manifesto, you should sign up and be a presenter for Nerd Night.
Oh my God, she's the best. That's so true. Yes, exactly. So with that being said, we do welcome manifestos in the form of Nerd Night talks. But with that said, who's got a question about T-Rexmas? Excellent. Get us off to a good start.
Which movies having to do with dinosaurs do you, as a librarian and T-Rex fan, recommend, and which are on your naughty list for a child?
I don't think I've met one that I don't like, although we did rewatch Jurassic Park 1 again this year, and we were like, it's okay. So maybe we'll put Jurassic Park on the naughty list. But David Attenborough's life is really awesome. Like, it's really phenomenal. So would recommend. I do have more book and movie recommendations in the zine. So if you want more, you should definitely check that out. I will tell you that I have the classic ADHD librarian syndrome, which is if I don't have my Goodreads open, I can't tell you the name of any book I've ever read ever. So I do have that shortcoming. So thanks for letting me be human.
All right, so that was an excellent kickoff question. Who else has one? Nope. That was your question. Wow. What are the odds? All right.
Y'all just want a librarian to give you book recommendations. I love it.
Yeah. Oh. By the bar. All right, help me out. Thank you.
If you want me to put on my professional hat, please come visit me at the downtown library. I'll give you book recommendations all day long. I'm there tomorrow at 9 a.m.
What story do you feel like portrays the T-Rexmas like spirit to your family the most that you love telling?
That's a really good question. What story portrays the T-Rexmas spirit to my family the most? Oh gosh. I love hearing my son tell his friends about evolutionary milestone and about T-Rex and dinosaurs. He wasn't actually the biggest dinosaur fan. There are plenty of kids who are bigger dinosaur fans than him, but the fact that he like nerds out with his friends and tells them all about mushrooms and like why mushrooms are cool, like the fact that he's picked up on that and is sharing it with his, he's been sharing it since he was in kindergarten. So 5-year-old, 6-year-old friends like nerding out about mushrooms, like that is exactly what I wanted to achieve. A kid who is excited about learning and about evolution and about all of the cool things that have come before and are going to happen in the future too.
Excellent. All right, we're 2 for 2 on good questions. Let's keep it rolling. I know that there were some other ones. I got kind of sidetracked a little. All right, I think we were over here. All right, what you got?
So you allude to the mythological origins of Christmas. I find myself wondering, does T-Rexmas involve a dinosaur pantheon of deities, and what roles do they fulfill?
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for you to write the zine about that. Again, take T-Rexmas and make it your own. There's so many opportunities. I had not ever really thought about that, but maybe we should be we need to pick another dinosaur to like leave an offering for next year. What will it be? Oh, you've given given me so many more opportunities to think about things. Thank you for that question.
You're welcome.
I don't have a good answer for you.
Thank you, my dear. All right, I think we have time for at least one or two more. Oh, there we go. What you got?
So, do you have any suggestions for substitutions for Easter?
Ooh, Easter. We'd have to go back to that cosmic calendar and look and see. There were actually some other really fun evolutionary milestones, and that I was like, oh, we should do this like as a year-round thing. I feel like we could probably come up with one. Let's have a confab session after this. Dinosaur eggs, yes, yes. I'm into it. Yes. Oh, dawn of time, exactly, the birth of our universe. I mean, really, yes. So many opportunities. See, you're already in the T-Rexmas spirit. You've got it. You've caught the bug. Now you just need to tell everybody else about it. You'll all be my little acolytes sending out the good word about T-Rexmas.
Outstanding. So one last question to finish us off. Anybody? Well, in that case, oh, well, there you go.
Just for fun, what would you suggest putting together in terms of a meal if perhaps you are not so T-Rexy as to enjoy red meat?
So that is an excellent question, and I will tell you that my family became vegan this year. Which did put us in a little bit of a pickle. We were like, maybe T-Rex would like some onigiri, or we could put some kelp in there. Maybe, he needs it for his digestion. My son was not having it. He insisted on steak. I will tell you that we caved because I didn't have a better plan. So we did put out a steak for T-Rex this year, but I've got a whole 12 months to think of a good solution for this for next year. Right now, the steak, it was frozen, right? So it was on the plate for about an hour before my son fell asleep. And then it went back in the back of the freezer. So it is possible that we could just bring out the same steak. Now that you're all laughing, I'm like, maybe that's not such a good idea, but we'll keep thinking of it. Oh, y'all have given me so many things to think of. Thank you. I've got so much homework for next year.
All right, y'all, let's give her a big round of applause.